A very warm welcome, students. In these days of corona, where you have to protect your health, be in your home, stay safe and stay healthy, it's also important to you to prepare yourself, make use of this time to get ready for your future forthcoming preparation and classrooms. So let us make best use of this time and prepare from the comfort of home for some challenging examinations like JEE Main and JEE Advanced. These particular classes are intended at students who have completed their 10th class and who are aspiring for preparation for examinations like JEE Main and JEE Advanced. So you have been taught some mathematical concepts at the level of your 8th, 9th and 10th, but the intention of teaching in these classrooms was to prepare you for certain type of examinations, whereas JEE Main and JEE Advanced are national level competitive examinations, and the approach you need to crack these examinations would be completely different. So there is always a need to fine-tune your preparation and prepare in the best possible way so that you both have your conceptual understanding in the deepest possible way, and also this approach should help you in terms of your problem solving. It has to hone your skills of problem solving and make you solve the problems in a best possible way in most time effective manner. So for that reason, we are planning a small bridge course for you. The intention of this introductory classes is to get yourself exposed to the basic mathematical concepts, basic mathematical ideas like quadratics, progressions, logarithms. So everything will be taught to you in a manner which is needed for looking at, targeting at the highest level of the examinations like JEE Main and JEE Advanced. So in this particular session, let us start with a small concept called intervals. When we are looking at this concept called intervals, this is just a notation which you have to be very comfortable, and this also includes some very important concepts of monotonicity, but I will not be getting into that. You will be learning them of course in your 11th class when you are taught application of derivatives, but here I will be using them. I will be just introducing those concepts to you, and I will teach you how to make use of these intervals. It's a small introductory concept, but its applications are vast, and when you know to use these interval concepts perfectly, I don't think you will face any challenge in terms of your intermediate and JEE Main preparation. Okay, so while coming to intervals, there are two types of intervals. One is called closed interval and another it is called open interval. So whenever I am writing these square brackets, such type of an interval, it is called a closed interval, and whenever I am writing these curved brackets, open brackets, this is called an open interval. So let us see what these intervals are for. These intervals specifically, they talk about the region in which a number lies on a number line. Let's say there is some number x I have a simple number line. The numbers are 0, 1 and 2. I have a number x which can lie anywhere between 1 and 2. So x can lie anywhere between 1 and 2. So how do we represent in this inequality? It could be a simple inequality. X lies between 1 and 2. X is greater than 1. X is to the right of 1, so x is greater than 1. X is to the left of 2, so x is less than 2. So such type of representation, we put it in an open interval. And it can also be a case where x can even be 1, x can even be 2. So an inequality can as well be like x is greater than or equal to 1, x can as well be 1, x can as well be 2, x is less than or equal to 2. And along with this, we have a symbol which most of you might have already used it. It is called belongs to. The symbol epsilon, we use it for belongs to. Okay, so when I have to write this inequality, x lies between 1 and 2, 1 and 2 both included. So instead of writing this way, this is perfectly right in terms of writing it, but there are few disadvantages when you are writing x lying between 1 and 2. Mathematically it is not very convenient. So we have to shift ourselves into a mode which is very convenient to use a lot of mathematical applications, which we will of course be seeing in the class. So we use a closed interval here. This is called a closed interval, and whenever in future I say closed interval, I mean square bracket. I mean x can be this number and can be this number. So how do we write this? X belongs to closed interval, that is set of all numbers between 1 and 2. So this inequality, x is greater than or equal to 1, less than or equal to 2. How do I represent that? X belongs to closed interval 1 comma 2. And in case I have to write the inequality x is greater than 1 and less than 2, then I make use of an open interval. So open interval is used, it is written using the open braces, your normal brackets. How do we write this? X belongs to 1 comma 2. What is difference between a closed interval and an open interval? In closed interval 1, x can be 1, closed interval 2, x can be 2, and x can be any number between 1 and 2. But when I am writing an open interval, what do I mean by that? When I am writing open interval 1 comma 2, x cannot be 1, it can be any number immediately after 1. From there it can be any number up to 2 but not 2. X cannot be equal to 2 here. So that is what we mean by open interval. So open interval x belongs to 1 comma 2 is same as the inequality x lies between 1 and 2. X is greater than 1, strictly greater than 1, and strictly less than 2. Whereas in a closed interval x belongs to 1 comma 2, I mean x can be greater than or equal to 1 and x can be less than or equal to 2. So this is what we mean by closed intervals and open intervals. So in general, if I have to write a closed interval and an open interval, let's say I have a general closed interval x belongs to a comma b. When a person writes x belongs to a comma b, what does he mean by that? What does he mean by that? He means x is greater than or equal to a and x is less than or equal to b. It's as simple as that. When somebody writes x belongs to a comma b, closed interval, he means x is greater than or equal to a and is less than or equal to b. And when somebody writes open interval a comma b, what does he mean? Yes, perfectly right. He means x is greater than a and less than b. There is no equality here. So now that you know the concept of closed interval and open interval, let me introduce you to semi-closed intervals and semi-open intervals. You can call them semi-closed or semi-open. Semi means half. So one part of it will be closed, another part of it will be open. I just leave this to you. You have to tell me, what does somebody mean when he writes x belongs to closed interval a comma b? What is the meaning of that? Perfectly right. It means x is greater than or equal to a, because closed is at a, x is greater than or equal to a, whereas it is open at b, so x is less than b. Here it is a normal bracket, here it is a square bracket. So equality will be here, but there is no equality at this side. So this side it is open, this side it is closed. Equality will be on this side, not on the other side. So x can be equal to a but not equal to b. Let me also try one more thing. X belongs to open A to closed B. Open A to closed B. What does this mean? Yes, again. That means x is greater than A, x cannot be A, and x is less than or equal to B. This side we have a closed interval, strict square bracket. So x is less than or equal to B. Here it is simple open interval. So x is greater than A. So I think you are thorough with all these four notations: closed interval, open interval, and semi-closed, semi-open intervals. Okay. Then after looking at this, there is one more type of notation which you have to be comfortable with. So in your classes you might have come across simple inequalities like this: x less than 4, x is less than or equal to 4, maybe x greater than 5, x greater than or equal to 5. So here x is not between two numbers, it is just less than 4. That is, on the number line if you plot, it is to the left side of 4. Here x is less than or equal to 4. So how to represent such in intervals? So here one side is clear, x cannot be greater than 4. So the right side limit is clear, x belongs to some number to some number. This particular number is clear to us. And is this open interval or closed interval? There is no equality here, so it has to be open interval. Only when there is a equality, square bracket has to be put, and when there is no equality, it has to be a normal bracket, which is open bracket. Now here x is less than 4, so it will take all numbers from 4 till where? There is 0, there are negative numbers, up to which number? Okay, number line is not bounded. There is nothing called smallest real number and there is no largest real number. Real number set is not bounded. So we use the word unbounded. Real number line is unbounded. So there is nothing called the greatest real number. Whatever real number you see, just add 1 to it, that number will be more than what you said. And similarly, there is no smallest real number. There is nothing called smallest real number. So just to say that there is no highest real number and there is no least real number, we use two symbols. Remember, these are not numbers, these are symbols. These symbols are called infinity and minus infinity. Infinity symbolizes the non-existing highest real number. Minus infinity symbolizes the, it is not a number, remember it is a symbol. Minus infinity symbolizes the lowest, non-existing, lowest real number set. Okay, so where do we say? Just in order to say that it can be any number less than 4, there is no limit on it, we say the number starts from minus infinity. It can be any number greater than minus infinity. That means it can be any number less than 4. Is that clear? So minus infinity, because it is not a number, it can never be coming with a closed interval. No number can ever become minus infinity. It is wrong to say, write x is equal to infinity or x is equal to minus infinity. You are never ever supposed to write a number as infinity or a number is equal to minus infinity. We never write equality with infinity symbol. Not just that, you don't involve infinity in any of the algebraic operations. What are algebraic operations? Your addition, subtraction, multiplication, division and exponentation. These are the 5 operations, and the chapter which deals with these 5 operations is your algebra. So these 5 algebraic operations, plus, minus, multiplication, division and exponentation, you are never ever supposed to use when you are writing infinity, because they are not numbers, they are only symbols. So many students, they are comfortable discussing this, 1 by infinity is 0. Can we say that? Never, because infinity is not a number, it is just a symbol. First of all, you are not supposed to write 1 by infinity. Doesn't make any sense, because no mathematical operation should be used with infinity. Even if you have used it, one mistake you already committed. But again, equality is not making any sense here. Why? Equality can be used only with numbers, not with any symbols. I cannot say apple is equal to mango, right? I can use it only with numbers. So such type of things we should not write, and when we deal with the chapter of limit, I will tell you the right way of representing all these things. So for now, infinity and minus infinity are just symbols symbolizing the greatest non-existing greatest real number and non-existing least real number. So whenever you have to write x less than 4, because I don't have any limit here, just to symbolize that there is nothing here, I will use minus infinity. Is that clear? Yes. And then next one you have to tell me. I have to write the inequality x less than or equal to 4 in an interval notation. How to write that? Right side limit is clear on the number line. It is 4. Is it open or closed? Yes. Equality is given, so it is closed. Left side, what should it be? Nothing is given in the left hand side. So we create a symbol here, and which is the least number symbol? Minus infinity. Minus infinity, can it be closed or open? It can never be closed. No number can become minus infinity, so it always has to be open. So x belongs to minus infinity to closed 4. That is how I write this inequality. Next, x is greater than 5. That means x can be any number to the right side of 5 on the number line. When x can be any number to the right side of 5 on the number line, how do we write that? Left side limit is clear to me. X is greater than 5. But right side limit, there is no limit. So how do we create that? Just by a symbol plus infinity. And infinity should be open or closed? It always has to be open. It always has to be open. Here 5, is it open or closed? No equality is given here, so it has to be open. So how do we write simple inequality x greater than 5? X belongs to 5 to infinity. That is how you need to write it. And our last inequality in this, x is greater than or equal to 5. So x can be 5 or it can even be greater than 5. So how do we write that? Left limit is 5. Right side there is no limit given to you. So we use the symbol infinity. Infinity is always open. It can never be closed. 5, is it open or closed? Equality is given here. So 5 is closed interval. So we say x belongs to closed interval 5 to infinity. In this case we say x belongs to open interval 5 to infinity. In this case we say x belongs to minus infinity to 4 closed. In this case we say x belongs to minus infinity to open 4. So this is how you write the inequality. So if I have to generalize all this, if I have inequalities x less than a, x less than or equal to a, x greater than a, x greater than or equal to a. How do I write that? X is less than a. So x falls to the left of a. X is less than a. X falls to the left of a on the number line. So right side limit is clear to us, a. Left side there is no boundary. So we use a symbol minus infinity. Left side boundary is minus infinity. Right hand side boundary is plus infinity, and these are symbols. So minus infinity is always open. At a, is it open or closed? Open. No equality is given, so it is open. In the next case, x is less than or equal to a. So x can be a and it can be less than a. So again x is to the left or on a. How do we write this? There is no left side boundary, there is only a right side boundary. So left side boundary we symbolize it by minus infinity. Right side boundary we